Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Our Lives official. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Leo wrote a scene for Body and Soul at small bar where Charlemagne announced her pregnancy and interrupted Cassandra and Rhett's wedding. Javi sat down at the table with him while he pondered yet another story twist. The pair recalled how Javi had used the identical line he had just used on Leo on their first night together, "Who do I have to sleep with to get a drink around here?" Javi said that he had been attracted to Leo because he loved a creative guy with dimples, and Leo reflected on how he had connected the drink he had had that evening with Javi. The two kissed and grinned at the jokes and recollections. When Javi inquired about Leo's writing progress, Leo bemoaned the challenges of organizing the ideal, dramatic wedding. With only one day to complete Rafe and Jada's wedding preparations, Javi could identify with Leo's wedding planning struggles. When Leo suggested hosting a bachelor party for Rafe, Javi became even more upset. Leo was brainstorming party ideas when he saw a message from Doug on his phone. Doug confirmed in the statement that he will repay all of his debts. In order to retrieve Julie's necklace, Doug also wanted Leo's assistance. When Javi inquired about the jewelry, Leo made a hasty attempt to divert the conversation, but Javi persisted. Leo would only admit that he may not have been entirely legal in his assistance to a child. Leo promised Javi that he would handle everything, but Javi was concerned that he might end up in jail. When Leo went off to accomplish that, Javi yelled at him to remember the stripper and made a clumsy attempt to defend the remark to his fellow bargoers. Doug III informed Holly at the Horton residence that he planned to start working and repaying the loan. Observing her gloomy disposition, he inquired as to whether she was considering the girl Tate got pregnant. Holly explained to Doug that part of the reason she was preoccupied was because Tate's sister was gone. Holly stated that she and Tate had been coming up with plans to find the little child, and Doug sympathized. Sophia had interrupted them to tell them that her mother had opposed the adoption. Holly added, "Admire Days, B&B, General Hospital, or other soap operas. Participate in the discussion on our SC boards. To interact with fans and start a conversation right away, click here." Holly grumbled about the constant obstacles that Sophia's pregnancy was causing. Holly was concerned that Tate and Sophia would eventually marry because Sophia was being forced to keep the baby and would be permanently bound to Tate. Holly apologized to Doug after realizing she sounded self-involved. He made a joke about her having a playlist for all of her problems, realizing that she had many reasons to be sad. The pair exchanged a grin, a hug, and a private moment while staring into one another's eyes. Leo broke the silence. He had come to discuss the necklace with Doug. Leo made an effort to remain discreet while Holly was there, but Doug told him that Holly was already aware of the valuables that had been stolen. In addition, Doug informed Leo about Holly's loan and reiterated that repaying Holly was his top concern. Holly advised him to concentrate on retrieving the necklace, but Doug insisted. Leo warned that the owners of the necklace would likely want a higher price for its return. Leo offered to hire Doug as his assistant after Doug said he needed a job right away. Leo persuaded Doug to take the position despite his reluctance because he lacked experience with soap operas. In addition to thanking Leo, Doug recognized all of the people who had helped him since he arrived in town. He gave Holly another contemplative glance. Leo grinned and said he would grant Doug a salary boost after observing the rapport between Holly and Doug. Leo, Greg Rickhart, offered Doug, Peyton Meyer, a job, and Doug accepted. /source of image, Peacock. Doug and Holly responded warmly to Leo's offer after he left. They were cut off once more, this time by Tate's phone call. When Leo returned to small bar, Javi commended him for his efforts to assist a stranger. Doug had more guardian angels than the young man believed, Leo suspected. Brady, just out of the shower, saw a message on his phone while at John and Marlena's house. He played it, and Ava's voice came through the static. Before Brady could hear the remainder of the message, she interrupted herself to tell him to call her right away. Desperately, he attempted to phone Ava again but received no answer. He left her a message. Brady later discovered a distraught Kristen at the DiMera mansion. To Brady's amazement, she said that EJ had reassured her. Even though they were not blood relatives, Kristen reaffirmed that she and EJ were there for one another. EJ realized that her family's scrapbook was gone when Kristen opened up to her about her early years and her birth parents. Brady thought Rachel might have taken it and that it might give her a hint as to where she was going. Armid was just a few miles out of town, Kristen remembered. She hurried out the door with Brady to follow their fresh lead. When Ava got to Armid, she shouted for Rachel. She sat down to pick up Rachel's stuffed snake after spotting it. Ava collapsed onto the couch abruptly. Rachel and the woman in white were standing behind her, each carrying a candlestick. When the woman said that caring for Ava had been easy, Rachel retorted breezily, "No kidding." Ava would no longer stand in the way of Rachel's mommy and daddy, the woman added. The woman in white answered Ava's phone when it rang. Rachel inquired as to what they should do after the woman mentioned that the call was from Rachel's father. The woman answered, "We won't answer." The woman reassured Rachel that Ava was alive and a tough bird when she asked if she was dead. Additionally, she assured Rachel that nothing would prevent mommy and daddy from getting back together. The idea of her parents getting back together made Rachel happy, but she wondered what would happen when Ava woke up. The woman assured Rachel that they would devise a strategy to prevent the mean lady from ending mommy and daddy being a family forever. When Brady and Kristen got to Armid later, they discovered that the house appeared to be deserted. Brady took off the sheet when he noticed Rachel's sneaker poking out from behind a piece of furniture wrapped in sheets. When he spotted Rachel hiding, he was overjoyed and gathered the young child in his arms. Kristen hurried over to give Rachel a hug alongside Brady. With great excitement, the girl inquired as to whether her parents had searched for her jointly. When Kristen picked up the scrapbook, she saw that it was the book that had given Rachel the idea to visit Armid. Rachel may have been gravely injured if she had run off alone, so Brady reprimanded her. According to Rachel, she wasn't by herself. When Brady questioned Rachel, she said that she was carrying Seymour, her plush pet snake. After telling Rachel that she and Seymour were in big trouble, Kristen told her daughter to get her things. Rachel pretended to have forgotten something and fled back inside by herself as she and her parents were about to leave. The woman in white assured the young girl not to worry while passing Rachel Ava her phone. She would look after Ava. Sophia and Tate kept each other informed about their separate searches for clues on Rachel's whereabouts at the Brady pub. Since Tate hadn't heard from his father yet, he was irritated. Sophia thought they ought to cooperate in their search for Rachel. In any case, she had wanted to discuss what had happened with her mother with Tate. Despite her mother's protests, Sophia recommended that they move forward with the adoption.